SEOs, where we're discussing predictions in search engine optimization. I'm here with a couple of our SEO experts today, Katrina and Lisa, and we're going to talk all about Google and the future of SEO. So I want to start out by asking you, is SEO going to be more important or less important as we move into the next few years?
More important, for sure.
Definitely. Totally agree with that.
As Google changes the rules and regulations that are appearing, and as they change what SERPs look like, it's going to be more and more important to have a really effective SEO strategy and to make sure that your team is putting content and SEO first as you're building your website.
We definitely foresee Google pulling more information right onto search results, which means you have to be doing SEO better and being more strategic in order to take up that space in SERPs and hopefully get users back to your website.
Right. What about just the next year or so? How do you think Google search will evolve, and what can website owners and marketers do to make their website just a little more effective in the next year or so?
I think this morning is a perfect example of Lisa was, why don't you tell the story?
Yeah.
It was your life.
Okay. I lived it.
You lived it, and then you told me about it.
So I was doing a Google search in incognito mode on desktop, and I saw what we've been seeing quite a while now on mobile, where it was continuous scroll, and you didn't have to click to page 1 or click to page 2. But personally, that's the first time I'd seen it on desktop. So I was surprised as I was going, like, oh. And I kept scrolling. We got all the way to like 60, maybe 70 results before I saw a see more button. So I think that's a really good example of how Google is kind of making you forget that you're still on Google. And we're seeing that a ton with all the visuals they're pulling in, all the enhanced search results, and the information they're giving you right there, kind of trying to keep you on Google instead of sending you to other websites.
People have gotten so used to that infinite scroll pattern from social media platforms, and so Google's adapting that and really bringing that into their day-to-day. And we have always said page 1 is very important, but page 1 almost has no limit at this moment. And as we see them testing things like that, that gives us a really good indication that that is coming in the next year. So it's more important to pivot your reporting and what you're actually looking at instead of focusing on what page are you falling on, focusing on what position are you in, and then what does that search result page actually look like. So you could be position 2, but if there's 3 ads, a local map pack, some FAQs, and a bunch of other stuff, people might not even see position 2 because there's so much organic content and SERP features and enhancements above it. So it's really important to make sure you're pivoting your reporting to truly reflect the state of what Google's doing for those keywords.
Yeah, I think that's a great point, and we talk a lot with clients about that. It's not just 10 traditional organic results anymore. We have videos in search results, we have images, we have snippets. I mean, there's all kinds of information. It's not just simply a bunch of links to other websites anymore. Yeah.
I think there are a lot of search results where 10 is abnormal. Like you're at 6, you're at 7, maybe 8, maybe 9, but like very uncommon now to have 10 search results living on page 1.
So the whole concept of just traditional search results on page 1, page 2, page 3 likely going to change significantly in the future.
Absolutely. That also makes it more important to incorporate Google searches as part of your keyword research process. You need to understand what type of content format is there in the Google search results so you understand how you're formatting your content for your page.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great point. Okay, so let me ask you, 10 years from now.
We're old.
You're already old.
Okay. I got thrown off. That's okay. All right, so let me ask you, 10 years from now, what will Google search, what will SEO be like? I know that's a long ways in the future. It's like impossible to predict perfectly what's going to happen, but I'd love to hear a really bold prediction.
Go ahead.
Wow, thank you. A bold prediction for Google in the future. We will see a lot more video and we'll see a lot more visuals in search results. There is different searches that could be video only without traditional content results. And I think the format of that is going to change and evolve a lot from what we're used to seeing right now. Instead of the video carousels, they could give us an entire single featured video. We're seeing so many improvements in how Google and YouTube are incorporating and working together, from timestamps being eligible as clips in search. And I think that is going to continue to grow and evolve, and that's going to be the future of how we need to process search and SEO, is also through a video first format.
That was pretty good. Can you
That
add to
was
her, Lisa?
quite bold. Yeah,
Very
I would
bold.
say we're definitely going to see a time where Google is answering your question right when you search, where maybe you don't need to even complete that search or need to look through any of the results because you got the answer before you had to process anything else. We're already seeing that with featured snippets, and people also ask in FAQs, things like that, where they're pulling more and more information onto Google, but that next step would be pretty much eliminating the search results page altogether and just saying, hey, here's your answer, thank you, goodbye.
Yeah, absolutely. I can see that happening as well. Guys, those are really good predictions. That was a tough question, but you answered it with flying colors. Lisa, did you do better than Katrina?
Sure.
Always the vote of confidence.
I like that confidence. Well, we have a number of other prediction videos that we've done. We've predicted what social media will be like in the future, what digital marketing will be like in the future. And if you'd like to check that out, just go to bluecompass.com/predictions. Thanks for joining us today, and we'll talk to you next time.